Hello, everybody. We're back for another edition of Meteorology Lab, and this is a look from about 400 feet up there. At least it was just a second ago, showing a lot of stratus and stratocumulus over our part of Texas here. So let's check out what it looks like on the surface map. There we go. This is showing all the red, which is IFR ceilings coming in from Louisiana and Arkansas into eastern Oklahoma there. And a little bit of marginal VFR in this area here. And it looks like it's scattered to clear out to the west. And we've got temperatures coming up into the 60s there in that part of West Texas. We do have a Pacific system moving through Arizona and California this evening. You can see the rain being indicated there at Kingman and Prescott, all the way down to about Casa Grande. And don't see much of a surface reflection, which is pretty common with these systems. They do tend to be kind of mid-level. And let's see here. We can pick up a little bit of westerly flow there in the California deserts, a little bit of southerly flow. And then you can just kind of see that there's kind of a very faint indication of convergence in this area. So we could probably go with a low pressure area somewhere around maybe Lake Havasu City, possibly a front down in Yuma. So that would be my preliminary indication there of where the fronts are located. So that is moving through Arizona, and that should be in New Mexico and Texas sometime tomorrow. And there's a look at the radar right there, showing some of the high-based showers in western Arizona up to just east of Las Vegas. But besides that, it is pretty quiet. Here's the isobars and thickness. Probably going with a bit of a warm front around the Minnesota and Dakotas area. And then that extends westward as this system right here. So that's the placement right there through Montana and British Columbia. And then we have our southern system down in Arizona. So we're going to go with maybe something like that. Maybe a little further east than what the surface chart had. And behind that you can see the pool of cold air over the Mojave Desert right there. So out ahead of that in Texas, we don't have much return flow this evening. The Gulf is not really open. So we look down to the south there, and we've got just one isobar over Laredo and another isobar around the Big Bend area, and that's it. So a very poorly developed return flow situation, which means this system is going to be contending with some dry air as it moves eastward. And this is probably reflected by the 850 millibar pattern. And with this chart, we're looking at dew point and temperature. So we've got dew points in the 20s at 850 millibars right there at Del Rio, 32, picking up 40s in Fort Worth, and then back down to 30 in Louisiana. And then that's looking like... yeah, that's pretty dry there. That's looking at teens there. So very shallow moisture and not much return flow there. But there at 850, we can see the cold air coming down through Edmonton and Saskatoon there. And there's the 50 millibar front. And then looking aloft there at 250 millibars, this is up at about 34,000 feet. Got a very active southern stream there from Arizona up to southern Colorado. And then we've got our northern stream up there north of the Great Lakes. And a bit of a cutoff flow there in western Florida. So we'll go ahead and put it together and look at the satellite. And that is assuming we can find it. Yeah, let's see here. There we go. So this is showing that system there coming through California and Arizona. So you can kind of see the closed low right there, pretty much centered over Edwards Air Force Base in that area. And the out ahead of it, the frontal system is way out there in Arizona, something like that right there. And looks pretty quiet out in the Pacific, just kind of cold air advection indicated here. And then the next system way off to the left side of the chart there. Okay, taking a look at chat here. Let's see, we got Jason Boggs and Mr. Manlet. Carl Berghoff got his contest prize, very good. Sue M is here, and Alexi. Mr. Manlet reporting California is in deep trouble, floods and mudslides galore. Alexi reporting 70 in Bell County, Texas. We have Ryan, and he's reporting muggy and humid with mid-70s and 80s with rain in Florida there. Got David Moore with 70 in northwestern Texas. Fun with Tech is here. Jason Boggs up to 77 in Amarillo. Megan John seeing snow melting there in Minnesota. Mr. Manlot reporting 31 degrees in northern Illinois under a mostly cloudy sky. Megan John mentioning a winter storm watch in effect. Okay, Burl H mentioning GOES 16 data in Macitas today. Oh, that's definitely good news there. I'll have to check that out. Carl Berghoff says if you guys recall, we had a mid-January warm-up in 2011, watching the El Nino pattern closely. Jeff Krob, WindGrid's author, is here. And Jeff Krob, yeah, he says he's back at work there. So this will probably be kind of a short one. We'll go ahead and just move on to the forecast here, since we don't have a whole lot going on. This is kind of a weird pattern here. Looks like maybe some dry air there in Mexico, perhaps. I'm not sure. I'm looking for the... Yeah, I don't see a scale here. Yeah, I think that's probably a bunch of dry air in that part of Mexico there, because then we pick up the yellow and red, and then that gets up into the moist air. But there's the feed of moisture coming in from the Pacific up through, looks like El Paso and Amarillo, and we'll see if we can take a look at that on the SCUTs. And this will give us some idea of the depth of moisture coming across the Rockies. So it looks like it's based at about 22,000 feet, all the way up to about 40,000 feet. And there you can see the southwest winds at 70 knots in that part of Texas. So let's see what's coming over the next week or so. I think one thing we can do is start out with the precipitable water chart. Okay, so here we can see that plume of Pacific air coming up into Arizona. This was a little bit earlier today. And then the current frame is looking like that right there. So looks like it's not all that moist there in Arizona, only picking up about 3/4 of an inch of precipitable water there. And looks like not very much of that makes it up across the mountains. And then we see redevelopment of the system there in Texas. And there we have probably 1/2 inch feeding into that part of the system. So, yeah, definitely looking kind of dry there. And it looks like only towards Thursday we start picking up some 1-inch precipitable water amounts there in Louisiana and East Texas. And there goes the system up into the northeast, now picking up 1.5 inches on Saturday. And then it goes up into the Canadian Maritimes there. So it looks like the source of moisture for the East Coast is going to be the air in the Bahamas and just north of Puerto Rico and Dominica there. So we'll check out the forecast here. Don't have a whole lot going on tonight, so we'll see what happens when the system emerges out into the plains. There's that cyclogenesis there. Cold air up to the north, poised to move south. And there we see, it looks like probably a cold front coming out of there. Maybe a dry line setup also. And then things start moving eastward on Thursday. And this is going to be in phase with the morning time through Dallas and Austin, so we're not going to see the heating really take effect until it moves a little further east. So we're talking Arizona or Louisiana and Arkansas there. Behind that, cold air advection coming in, and looks like some snow flurries from Denton up to Ada, northeastward there. And there's what the system looks like, and also some snow up there in the Lake Superior and Wisconsin area, and also another system up there in the Pacific Northwest. And we develop a little bit of mixed precip around the Paducah and southern Illinois area up to Indianapolis. Here comes that other system across the Dakotas and Wyoming there. And then we get kind of a reinforcing shot of cold air around Saturday. So it looks like the temperature will be going down through the weekend in the central U.S. Big old 1046 millibar high building in. And then up in the northeast U.S., the system is a little bit warmer than the last one we had. So there's a lot of liquid precip all the way into the New York City area. And it's looking like no precip, no wintry precip south of Boston, south of Albany, or south of Pittsburgh there. So that's the way it looks. This will all be liquid, according to the GFS there. So there goes that system. High pressure moving in behind it during the weekend. And then another reinforcing shot with this Alberta Clipper on Monday. 1045 millibar high building in. And that takes hold most of the first half of next week. And looks like another little system coming together here in the northeast on Wednesday, or around Tuesday, the 16th, and into the 17th there. So some shower activity there in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and southern New York. Snow showers there. And the model going for a little bit of mixed precip in Arkansas and Oklahoma and the Paducah area around Thursday. Probably an upper level system moving through there. And then the southern stream really gets going towards the 20th. And we've been kind of watching this for a while there. You can see packing of the thickness lines indicating an upper level jet through that region. So there will be support here for some upper level dynamics moving across this zone. And there goes one wave right there around Sunday the 21st. So this is looking for wintry precip north of Oklahoma City and north of the Ozarks there. And then looks like we get a 1050 millibar high building in. So this is a really big and deep high coming in for the 23rd. And you can see that's building all the way into Mexico there in Arizona. So a lot of cold air advection coming in, very deep, cold air mass. And then we have our next wave coming in on top of that around the 25th, but that's pretty far away. Let me take a look at that air mass there. Let's try running that back here. Yeah, there's that 1050 millibar high. I'm going to see if I can get a sounding to come up here. Yeah, this is definitely a pretty deep air mass. Tropopause down way very low. I don't know if that's the tropopause there or could be up here. I'm not sure which one, but in any case, let's see where that comes from. Looks like that's going to be Western Canada there, developing around the 21st 20th and 21st up in this region here. So very deep air mass, and it has no problem moving southeast down the Rockies there. Okay, well, I've got to work on weather-wise tonight, and I have still not finished the email queue, so I'm still pretty busy here. So that'll probably do it for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.